Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have for you the I just noticed the pronouns down there in the bottom left there. They would be in the left, wouldn't they? Always the left. So this is a clip. It is a Zoom call meeting from the state of Iowa, glorious state of Iowa, in which three indoctrination officers, teachers, of course, on this Zoom call explain and jape and brag with each other how they get around the statewide law which prohibits the indoctrination of the youth in such subjects such as CRT. Okay, they explain how they get around these laws, and the insinuation is this is how you can do it too. You see, when you have a group of teachers who are conspiring to get around state law specifically so they can teach something that is highly divisive and bunk, it's nonsense. CRT is nonsensical. That's why they don't like you to raise issues about it, or to challenge it, or to prohibit it but via state law. They don't want you challenging their doctrine, and that's why they do this. Anyway, look, let's get into this clip. If you haven't yet though, please like the video if you find it informative, subscribe to the Hoggcast, hit the notification bell and share this video around. I would be very happy if you could do those things. I am the underdog. I am a conservative commentator, and as such we don't get recommended like we used to. We also have a membership scheme now where we have 2 levels in which you can support the Hoggcast. If you value my commentary, that would be an amazing thing. I have 3 lovely, amazing, beautiful members already, and if you would like to join the ranks, that would be great. Okay, let's go. Okay.
I said, but we also need to take a look at HF 802. And I literally put the law in front of them, gave them access to it with a link. And I said, and I need to just let you know, there are now concepts that it is illegal for me to teach you about, according to the state of Iowa. And we went through, they used to be called defined concept or divisive concepts. Now they're called defined concepts in our law. So I went through those 10 defined concepts with them so that they could see what the law was. And they immediately, by the time I think we were on the second or third one, they're like, but is it illegal for me to ask questions? Can I? And I was like, this is only for me. You can ask as many questions as you like.
Is it illegal for me to ask questions? Because it seems like you're not allowed to in society these days.
And then I took him to the part of the law that said, this law doesn't prohibit me from answering questions. I said, so if there's any question that you have about these defined concepts, you can ask them, and then I can answer them. So I said, so let's just take another minute. What questions do you have that you want me to build this course around and take some time to answer? And the questions after going through HF 802 were so much more pointed. Like one of them straight up was a sticky note that says, is the United States systemically racist?
And I wonder where your students, as young as they are, got that concept from. Okay, and you know, it's a minute ago she said how she can build the course around the questions the children ask. You're not supposed to build an educational course around what the children ask. You're the teacher. You're supposed to be instructing them. They're supposed to learn from you. Okay, this is yet another example of them using the naivety of children to pass off their ideology and their nefarious aims on to those students. You'll often see this with these CRT obsessed loons. Okay, they will use the naivety of their charges in order to push their ideology on to their charges, and this is a prime example of that. She just said how she's going to build the course around the questions the students ask in her class. So the answer to that could be anything she wants it to be, because this is a course that, 1, she's not supposed to be teaching, 2, she's looking for ways to get around, 3, she wants to push for ideological reasons, and 4, she's now making it up as she goes along because she's using, by her own admission, the questions that her charges, the students in the classroom, asked in order to build up that course. Okay, so she could use any question she wants. If there was 100 questions and only 10 of them she could use to really mould the perspective, she would only use those 10. And furthermore, she could give any answer she wants to those questions. Okay, what I want to know is, why is an honest question from any honest observer would be, you've been told that you need to stop teaching this bunkum. It's like if a teacher came out and said, right, we're going to start teaching that the world is flat, things like miasmas exist, and we're all made of cheese. Okay, if you was prohibited by law, state law, to say, look, you can't teach this anymore, it's bunkum. If you then went out of your way to continue trying to teach that, people have a right to question, why are you doing this? Why are you doing it? What is there any other part of state law that you throw out and think, right, I'm not gonna listen to that, I'm gonna find a way around it? Probably not. So why this? Why this?
And I was like, well, that would be a fascinating conversation that now we can have because you've asked. So I think, and this might be an extraordinary silver lining, the fact that this law in itself represents how, I actually have a hard time grasping how a concept can be illegal in my mind.
Let me explain something to you, right? For example, you as a left-wing teacher would want the concept first espoused by the man with the little moustache from the 1940s and 1930s who rose to prominence in Germany. That brand of concepts that come with the little moustache guy, you'd be the first one to outlaw that, or want it outlawed. Why would you want it outlawed, you might ask? Because it is a danger to people if they then subscribe to that concept and think, you know what, I agree with that. That's the way we should go. So, think about it. There's your answer. There's your answer to why certain concepts should be illegal in a healthy society. Not all concepts are healthy. Okay? Not, for example, here in the West, we frown on uncles marrying their brother's daughter, if you understand what I mean. That has a name. We know what that is. I'm sure you know what it is. It's a concept that there are cultures that go in for that. We don't. That's not a concept we do here. And yes, it is illegal because we consider it unhealthy.
But how this law itself can represent systemic oppression, and that it becomes an illustration for my students.
Show me it. Quantify how a state law prohibiting the teaching of divisive crap, divisive rubbish that makes an entire generation of your country's youth hate the country itself. I mean, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out what happens when you raise a generation, the next generation who are going to lead this country, who are going to try and take this country into the next decade and the decade after that and so on, to teach them to hate their own country. These divisive subjects. If you're an honest observer, you know why that can't be allowed, right? You know why that can't be allowed. And as for this systematic oppression, show it, quantify it. Quantify it. Show me it. I bet you can't.
And I don't necessarily even have to say it because they can see it.
They'll see whatever you tell them to see. Maybe it's just me. That's the end of the clip. Maybe it's just me because when I was in school, I was a bit of a rebel. I always questioned things. I was often the the only one out, if you know what I mean. I was often I was going against the grain, whereas everyone else, they would just lap it up in school. Whatever the teacher said, that's the truth. If the teacher said the moon is made of cheese, then 90% of that class would agree. And I never went to university. I'm glad I didn't, considering the S show it's became. But this seems to be even more pronounced in university, which is even more shocking, because by that time these people are adults. Not old, very old adults, but they are adults nonetheless. And they seem to put some sort of religious importance on any word that comes spewing out of the mouth of these, in my opinion, bad faith actors in the education department. And it's all happened so quick. It really has. If you are a teacher and you have dedicated your time to trying to circumvent state law because you genuinely believe you had the God-given right to push highly divisive subjects that pit white against black, boy against girl, father against son, married against non-married, man against woman, and so on and so on. If that's what you want to do, you have a problem. The problem's you, right? Not anyone else. Anyway, look, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't yet, please like the video, subscribe to the Hoggcast, hit the notification bell, and share this video around. We are the underdogs. We are conservative commentators. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.